what childhood looks like.
For me, because I'd rather live in the wilderness.
Because you'd rather, oh, we're putting Dexcom to the test, aren't we, sir? This is what happens when it rains in Florida.
I dig holes in the ground for mud.
You dig holes in the ground. You find the one mud pit in our yard. Oh my goodness.
Can you turn on the water?
All right, let me see what you've done to that. Here, let me see.
Just a little water, make mud. Yeah, that's mud. Got it out.
Oh,
Yes! And let me get it! Hey, we're jumping. We're gonna keep jumping in mud, basically. Jump! Now my turn.
Oh, look at how wired the dog is with this.
Maple, come here! I want to catch her and dunk her.
No, let her just turn around the place crazy.
And then catch.
Get in there, buddy.
How long until I get the Maple! Goodness. Let me get in. Good job. I try to get the dog. Mud won't let me make.
Spit it out.
Yes!
Might as well just embrace it. Get in there, buddy.
Mommy!
We're gonna make ranch dressing, which is an absolute staple in our home. So right now in the blender we have 1 egg at room temperature. We have 1 teaspoon of salt. We have 1 teaspoon of pepper, 3/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 3/4 teaspoon of what did I say? Onion powder. And we have 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. Next, we are going to add coconut milk.
1 cup of coconut milk.
1/2 cup of coconut milk. 1/2 cup of full fat canned coconut milk. So now we need to mix that up, okay, Fee? And again, it's canned full fat coconut milk. And the only thing that is added to it is coconut milk, water, and Gour gum, which as far as we have been able to research is not an issue. All right, you wanna start it, babe? Okay. Okay, put it up to 5. Slowly, slow. There you go, get it up there. Go, go, go. Yeah. Awesome, now that's all mixed up. Now we're gonna add 1 cup of light olive oil. It has to be light or else you'll get a really heavy flavor. Oh, that's okay. We want to back it down slowly next time. All right, so the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add the herbs. We take a handful of fresh herbs. We like cilantro, but you can mix dill, cilantro, parsley, all of that's really good. And then if you overmix it, which is totally fine, it just makes it green. No big deal. All right, go ahead and start it. Good. Okay, turn up to 5.
Slowly.
Yeah, just go to town.
Okay, put it up. That whole thing in?
Yeah, whole thing in. All right, so there is your ranch. Okay, so today we want to talk to you guys about something just very specific that we were so grateful we had read about prior to experiencing it ourselves. So earlier you saw us really putting Dexcom to the test in the mud, the boys playing in the mud and having a great time with that. And we've had a very good experience with the Dexcom G6. But like any technology, it's not perfect. So I think it's really important to understand and to keep in mind that the technology, they're tools to help you make better decisions, but it does not manage the diabetes. So Fortunately, we had read about compression lows in a group that we're a part of prior to experiencing them. And honestly, they're kind of scary. So one rule that you absolutely have to adhere to is when you make corrections, whether it be with insulin or with glucose, to bring the glucose levels back into range, you need to make those decisions based on the blood, not based on the Dexcom. And I think that this situation really illustrates why. What is a compression low? And what does that look like?
What we understand a compression low to be is that when there's pressure put on the sensor, it pushes the interstitial fluid away from the actual sensor under the skin, and that can cause you to read lows. So where we have noticed it at night and why it has caught our attention, and we're so thankful that we knew about it prior, was that at night when Abel rolls over onto his stomach and lays down, or something rests against it, he will go from a nice flat line, and all of a sudden it just drops like crazy, and then we get an alarm, and it causes you concern when you don't know why they just dropped. It doesn't make sense. And now that we know about it, we obviously check with blood, but we verify that it has just been a compression low. We'll go in and check and see how he's lying down, how he's sleeping. And it helps us have peace of mind knowing that we don't need to calibrate Dex, and that if we gently reposition him a little bit or in a little bit, it's going to correct itself. And it has.
So I think one thing that's really important is when we first got Dex and we were kind of new to this, it caused great anxiety and fear when you heard that alarm and checked the numbers and saw that down arrow, in the low 50s and a down arrow. Definitely that immediate reaction is just fear, like what is going on? But since we've moved to high protein, low carbohydrate, we know that he's okay. So while that alarm, it absolutely will still invoke that, like, oh my goodness, like, let me get to him as quickly as possible and see what's going on. By the time we get from our bedroom to his bedroom, we've already, through our minds, calmed ourselves down. We know that there is no reason why those numbers, those low numbers, are accurate, because we know how our insulin acts. We know we're able in that short time frame to calm ourselves. Like, we know how much insulin is on board right now in his body right now. We know that, for example, all of his bolus insulin is out of him, and we know his basal is dialed in. So there's no reason to fear what we're going to see when we get into his bedroom. And then we still move. We move fast. And I don't think that will ever change. But the peace of mind that has come with our new diet and with truly understanding how and when our insulin works has taken away that acute terror, especially when you know that, honestly, diabetes, when it's not well managed, is a killer. And the term dead in bed, it is real, but that fear has been taken, like, we've been able to calm that fear because of how we proactively manage the diabetes and how we take it very seriously, and have chosen a path that for us, that experience of dead in bed is just, we can be confident that's just not a reality for us.
It's a concern, and we manage it. We manage it through diet and through small requirements for insulin. So it's helped us just know that it helps us to more quickly discern what would be a compression low versus what is something we need to be concerned about. So we still go check on it, and we always double check with what his actual blood is, and then we determine what needs to happen from there. So
yeah. So, and to correct it, to kind of walk you through that. So we just turn Abel off of his stomach when he has a compression low, and then we just gently push around the Dexcom to kind of reposition that sensor, and it self-corrects very quickly. Within 10 minutes, he's reading back to matching what his blood is telling us. And we can do all of that without even waking him up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to summarize, the importance is knowing the insulin, knowing the food that's in your child's body, and then just having confidence in yourself that you know what's going on with that, and that you still have to make the decisions. The technology does not, but it is an amazing tool.
God bless y'all. Have a good week.
Hi. Stop. Hello.